Hello, I'm Cardinality, and this is my AGDQ2020 submission video for Target Renegade. Let's jump right into it. Timer begins in 3, 2, 1, go! So the plot for this game is relatively simple. Motorcycle enthusiast and former professional wrestler Bret the Hitman Hart has teamed up with a group of mad scientists to create a Bret Hart clone army to take over the city. I'm just kidding, these guys just look a lot like Bret Hart. The story goes, Mr. Big has kidnapped your brother, and it's up to you to single-handedly rescue him from the many minions of Mr. Big. The story actually bears a lot of resemblance to Double Dragon, and you're going to see a lot of similarities in this game to Double Dragon, right down to stylistic and fighting elements. 3 sweeping low kicks to take out each Bret Hart lookalike. We move on to the next screen. Here we see 2 motorcycles at once. We need to knock these guys off the motorcycles as quickly as possible to trigger the spawns of the other enemies. You'll see a lot of times enemies will approach you, and then as soon as you attack them, they'll walk away from you, and a different enemy will prioritize attacking you. It's very important to pay attention to which enemies are prioritizing you in this way, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Here's the boss for the first level. He looks really big and difficult, but in reality, it only takes 16 punches to the stomach to take him out, and as long as you stay away from his vertical hitbox, or rather keep your vertical hitbox away from his attacks, you're going to do just fine. 16 attacks to his Achilles stomach, as it says at the bottom of the screen, and that's the end of Stage 1. Well done, kid. Rest a while, Jack. Get ready for the next garage level. 2 guys to knock off motorcycles at the beginning of this stage. And again, as you can see, very often, you'll attack one once or twice, and then he'll just walk away from you as a new spawn will approach you. These guys don't want to attack me at all. They don't know what's going on. This looks like the last one. Oh, there's one more on a motorcycle. Knock him off. This time we're going to the left instead of the right, so that's actually a pretty convenient position. We're going to pick up this fire extinguisher and just throw it off the screen so that enemies can't go after it. Whenever an enemy is going after an item that's in a different vertical position, they're going to move their vertical hitbox out of range of your attack very quickly, and it's very difficult to target them. Whereas, if they're not going after an item, their vertical hitbox gravitates towards your vertical position, and it's really easy to take them out. Here we're going to use a combination of low kicks and jump kicks. The jump kicks actually do 2 points of damage, one on the way up and one on the way down. And so for enemies like this, which tend to gravitate really strongly towards your vertical position, the jump kicks are much more effective. Same boss at the end of Stage 2 as Stage 1. At the bottom of the screen it says, "Yo, dude." The bottom of the screen will periodically give you hints on how to beat bosses or how to proceed, but every once in a while it'll just say something that bears no relevance to anything. So yeah, we stay out of range of the boss's attacks, and that is Stage 2. Well done, kid. Gotta keep going like this. Not far from the phone now. So, from Stage 3 onward, the theme is you have to get to the end of each stage to reach a payphone, and the payphone is your method of communication from now on with this helpful whoever he is who's helping you between levels with information. He's gonna tell us where to go, which is really just the next stage each time. These green guys sometimes can't make up their mind whether they want to attack you or just walk up into a corner. You just have to be a little bit patient with them. Here is the first time an enemy is actually going to bring an item onto the screen. We're going to pick up this bat as soon as it's dropped so that the enemies can't go after it themselves, because again, if they do, they're going to be changing their vertical location, and it's going to be much harder to hit them while they're actually going after the bat. I don't know where this guy thinks he's going, but he's the last one on this screen. We move up, and here another enemy brings another bat on screen. So there's always going to be at least one on the ground, and so we have to be really careful how we approach this group of enemies. I don't know where he thinks he's going, but there we go. So we pick up one bat, and then as soon as the other drops his bat, we can just handle him accordingly. See, this one, we're going to want to sort of, you can see there, it's very difficult to stay on the same horizontal plane as them, because in order to kick low, you have to press down and B, and the down takes you just out of range of their vertical hitbox. This is the Stage 3 boss. He has by far the most hits of any boss in the game, 32 hits, but fortunately, as long as we stay out of range of his attacks, we can do these little combo punches in between. And that's it. So we have to wait for our hero to walk over to the payphone here and receive the next set of instructions. Well done, kid, you got through the parking garage. Now, go downtown. And so we do. There's time for donations to be read here. The enemies in Stage 4 are pretty similar to Stage 3. We're going to use the same methods to take them out. Pretty much attack whoever is willing to approach us. Looks like there's one more before we advance. Now here we're going to purposely take a knife hit from this enemy over here. The reason I do this is I've just found that the RNG I get in this screen somehow tends to be better when I take a knife hit, and it doesn't cost us any time whatsoever. And as you can see, we have plenty of health, so I just do it and hope for the best. Here we have the first enemies that take 4 kicks to defeat instead of 3. So we're going to start using a different attack, which is the headbutt, which also kind of looks like a chest bump, if you just look at the attack on its own without an enemy in the way. The headbutt does twice as much damage as a kick. And so with just 2 headbutts we can take an enemy out, and we take a little damage approaching them, but that's not a problem. You can see we have plenty of health. Here is Roxy, and what we want to do to defeat Roxy is initiate attacks just outside of range of her hitbox, and she's going to walk into the attack before she can attack us. Just have to stay out of range of her attacks and be very careful. And that is Stage 4. Well done, kid, you got through downtown. Now go to the phone in the park. 2 enemies on skateboards there, we want to knock them off before we continue. Very convenient when we can knock off 2 at the same time. There, we got that one. Perfect. On to the next scene, more of the same enemies. This would be another good time to read donations. It's, again, more of the same enemies. We knock 2 off of a skateboard at the same time. That might be it for skateboarders. Yes. Over here again, we want to pick up this wastebasket and throw it off the screen so that the enemies can't pick it up and throw it at us. And if they do, then another one's going to try and pick it up and gravitate away from our hitbox or from our attacks. These guys take 4 hits to defeat as well, but we don't use headbutts because after they receive their first 2 points of damage, they actually get knocked to the ground. So we would have to initiate 2 different headbutts either way, so the most convenient way is to just knock them down with drop kicks. Stage 5 boss, same as Stage 4, same plan. It's a total of 9 kicks to take her down, 5 kicks for the first fall, and then another 4. And we just want to make sure we initiate attacks out of range of her so that she can walk into them. And that is Stage 5. Well done, kid. The park was easy. Next comes Uptown. Easy for him to say it was easy. This stage introduces these, I guess, karate black belt experts. Kind of hard to see if they're actually wearing a black belt because of where their arms are, but it sort of looks like they are. Same basic strategy here. We want to do 1 sweeping low kick followed by a drop kick for the last 2 points of damage. Same enemies here. And the same strategy. We want to generally keep this wavy up and down motion so that you see there's a drop kick there. We want to sort of prevent them from doing that as much as possible, because if they do it too much, well, our health might just get a little bit too low for comfort. 1 more set of enemies before the Stage 6 boss, which is actually a group of bosses. More guys in green coats and what look like construction workers, I guess. Almost looks like they're wearing hard hats. I think it's supposed to be like a visor, though. Last one. Now, the bosses in this area take 6 hits, so we're going to do 3 headbutts to take them out, and we're going to be very careful with how we initiate them, because these guys are actually very dangerous. So we get way above their attack range. You can see this is what happens when we get frozen in their attack range. It can be very dangerous. So we want to get above their attack range and then initiate an attack that they can walk their hitbox into, so that they don't actually have time to attack us. That's the strategy. These guys kind of look like a baby standing on the shoulders of another baby inside a giant tuxedo, especially in the way they walk. We enter the building called the Pig Pen. Rest a while, then comes the Pig Pen. We don't really rest a while, we just come straight in. More double babies in tuxedos, and we gotta be very careful how we handle them once again. There we go. If anything goes wrong, there's always the option to take them out with drop kicks and stay out of the range of their attacks vertically. As long as we get a smooth rhythm here going, everything works out well. But yeah, there you can see, like, we initiated the first headbutt, and somehow the enemy still attacked us, so you still have to be really careful. More of these guys that take 4 hits, so again we'll use 2 headbutts to defeat them. And we'll just alternate directions. We have plenty of health here, so I can afford to take damage entering their hitbox, but I'll just pick up that little bit of health just in case. And again, no big deal to take extra damage here. On to the final boss, Mr. Big. You can see in the background there are bathrooms for women, men, and then there's a smaller door for Mr. Big. Turns out Mr. Big is actually short, but he carries an extremely, almost impossibly large gun in his jacket. Get ready on the timer, and time. Turns out Mr. Big is actually quite easy to defeat. You made it, kid! You've beaten Mr. Big and rescued your brother. And now we get to see the magnificent ending where our brother, he looks and dresses very similarly to us. But oh no! It's not over. The Bret Hart army continues to multiply. They capture our brother, again, very similarly to the very opening of Double Dragon 1. And so it turns out you have to beat the game over and over and over again, and it's just a game where you can accumulate massive amounts of points. Anyway, that's Target Renegade in a nutshell. Thank you all so much for watching.